Hi, babies. It's the even more fabulous Mother Love coming to you live in living color. This is Mother Love, and we are in the month of November. And for those of you who know, this is Diabetes Awareness Month, and for those of you who don't know, this is Diabetes Awareness Month. And I'm sure that unfortunately, somebody in your family, up to and including you, could be touched by this chronic dis-ease. And at first, I didn't like calling it diabetes a disease, but when they say dis-ease, that's like the counterpart to you are at ease. Am I right, Mr. Robert Ferguson, who's on with me live in living color, gonna be with us every Tuesday when we can make it, when he can, because you know you have a busy schedule as being the author and the founder of Diet Free for Life. That's your book, and then you have a whole program. So this is what I want to talk to you. Welcome to the program, first of all. Sometimes I
Well,
just
it is good to be here, Mother Love.
it's good to
Let's
see
have some
you.
fun. Can't
We
wait.
absolutely and learning nutrition. Okay, I learned a word. We're talking about, and I don't know if they were here last week, but you could go download it on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on the Xgram, Dexgram, Instagram, and restream. Did I get them all in? So
You did good.
what we are wanting to do is to give you information that you can understand without all of the, okay, that went over my head. I don't even know how to pronounce that. To break it down, I was reading this article, and it was talking about how obesity in this country didn't explode until like the mid 70s and 80s when we started seeing an epidemic, and people don't understand this is an epidemic. So I'm reading along, and I found out about my hormones and my geo and my bio, all the bio pieces parts. But wait a minute, and we touched on olestra. Okay, so now we're talking about the obesity problem in this country and what is going into our food. And you have a mantra: food as medicine.
Yes.
Talk to us about the importance of the food as the medicine, because okay, this is what I found out. What is the agriculture department? Okay, Lay's potato chips. Everybody know Lay's potato chips. They came out back in the 70s, 80s with this potato chip called Wow. Oh, it tasted great. It was wonderful. It was not supposed to be fat laden, but then they found out about the side effects. And they don't want to. So they changed the name from Wow to Frito-Lay Potato Chips Light. And they both contain olestra. Talk to us about that. And is it a real chemical?
Well, Alestra, yeah, that was
I mean, a
real
food
popular.
chemical.
Well, that was one of those things where they were demonizing fat.
Mm-hmm.
And so by going with this ingredient, they felt that you would get less fat, but it created more disaster. And so, yeah, I don't even see that in any product. I'm not sure if it's 100% banned,
Well,
but
olestra?
yes.
Who knows? They changed the name of it from Wow to Light. I don't know how you get to that point, but they're saying that the standard American diet. Will you please tell people what that was and how it's changed over the years?
Oh man, it's changed. That's a big question, right? So if you go to 1900, when no one even knew what a calorie was, to the fact that we ate at home, what, 98% of the time,
Mhm.
to a world that we live in today, where we're eating out all the time, and even when we're not leaving the house, we're eating out because we're using DoorDash and Grubhub. So we're just eating. We don't even know how much love, mother love, is going into the food.
And that's what I believe is so important. That's the ingredient. Or the little girl that was reading the cereal box, and her brother said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm reading the ingredients." Now this is a child, maybe 4 or 5, and she got this big box of cereal in front of her, and she like, "I'm reading the ingredients." The commercial made her conscious of what was going on. And this is like, when you talk about the 1900s, the 1800s, there weren't a lot of fat people that time, but they were,
No,
I mean, like the ones that made all the money, and the slave owners, they were big and fat because that's where the phrase, you living high off the hog. You
that's
eating
right.
all the good stuff, and everybody else is eating all the bad stuff. When you see this and the obesity problem isn't as an epidemic, are they exaggerating, or is this an epidemic?
Oh, I believe we're like pandemic level. I mean, this is more than an epidemic. I mean, all you got to do is look and see the cause of death, right? You see everything continuously gets worse. Like I was looking at a study a couple days ago, and in this study, Mother Love, what they found is they looked back 3 decades and they looked at what we call a basal metabolic rate. That means how many calories you burn just by being alive, whether you sit on the couch or nothing. Okay, that's called the basal metabolic rate. Well, in the last 3 decades, we're burning less calories naturally. So something's going on where we're burning less. Also, what they consider homeostasis when it comes to temperature, 98.6. Remember that?
That's supposed to be the normal human temperature, right?
But it's gone down also.
Can you do? How does that work?
Well, it's gone down over the years. They've been measuring it since the 1800s.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to share with you reasons why we're burning less calories. Our temperature has changed, so we're cooling off basically. And what they also notice is that we're burning more calories through activity. So more people are walking, more people are exercising, more people are doing things. We're getting in steps. So our activity is up, but our natural ability to burn is down. That's not good.
Now, how does that happen? Somewhere in the connection when you were doing this, it had to be some kind of gap, some kind of a breakdown to go from this level.
You ready for it?
I'm born ready. Okay, so I just want to understand that this is actually happening, and we have seen this over decades. Because I tell them I'm not that clever. I can't make this stuff up. Okay, so between here and here. Both the hands are out the camera. Oh, it's some kind of way. But you know what I'm saying. Where was the breakdown in between here and there?
Okay. And this is interesting. What they believe.
And who are they?
Well, the people who did the research and studies. There's quite a few universities that are involved, quite a few really accomplished professors, if you will, and researchers who did the studies on all of this. Okay. So it's been published in I think this one was published in Nature magazine, which is a pretty popular magazine for studies. And you can find it on PubMed. So, if a person knows how to
I just want you to know. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, go ahead. Okay. I'm ready for it. I am ready for this.
So what the suspicion is that we're consuming seed oils and high fructose corn syrup. Those 2 ingredients are creating disruption on a cellular level that is causing us to burn fewer calories and has put us in a position where we're more likely to become sick. So the seed oils are pro-inflammatory, same as the fructose, and neither one of them are designed for us to consume as much of it that we're consuming. So the number one oil that people eat in America, actually around the world, is called soybean oil. I'll stop there.
Okay, well, what about the other seeds? The avocado seeds, the grape seed.
Well, avocado is a fruit. So
all of those are fruits. They said if it got a seed, it's a fruit. If it doesn't have a seed, it's a vegetable. So I see.
Well, avocado is it's not a seed oil. Avocado is a fruit oil, same as palm oil.
Okay, see, and palm oil is very high in calories.
Well, I mean, all oils are fat, so they have the same amount of calories.
Okay.
They just don't cause the same damage. So there's an ingredient called linoleic acid, for those who want to research and look it up. Anything that's high in linoleic acid is where we're seeing
Lental.
Yeah, lin, Lin.
Lin.
Oleic. Linoleic.
Linoleic.
Yeah, and I'll send you some info on it. But linoleic acid is really high in soybean oil. It's really high in grapeseed oil. It's very high in sunflower and safflower oil. And when you're consuming a good amount of this, then it creates that damage. So remember, I stopped when I said soybean oil, because I've never met a person who says, "Hey, Robert, I got to go to the store and buy some soybean oil." So how can it be the number one edible oil consumed, but yet no one goes to buy it?
Is there something they know that
it's in all the foods? So if you go grab a mayonnaise jar, one of the ingredients is probably going to be soybean oil.
I've seen that.
When you buy a lot of things
that have
soybean oil, yes. When they're cooking, it's cheaper. So if it's cheaper, like cheaper to keep her, then the restaurants, the manufacturers, they're going to keep her.
Okay, now when in PubMed, was reading this article that was talking about, I said something about the potato chips, and Olestra was like a dieter's dream. Where did they go wrong when they created the standard American diet? And will you share with our audience what that is?
Well, the standard American diet, SAD, for short.
That right there should have been a dead giveaway.
Yeah,
You know,
SAD.
sometimes the acronyms kind of don't work. And when you say that one, it's like, that's yeah, okay, go ahead.
All you got to do is think business. Everything is designed around business, making money. Right? So when you could go and buy a burger and you didn't have to stay home and cook it, then that means they made money. We felt the convenience. And then, hell, I would rather go buy the burger instead of sitting in the kitchen under a hot stove.
And that's where the
right.
Yes.
So that just grown. And then you get to the place where it's like the market started to grow, right? If you go to get gas right now, and you would remember this, right? Let's go back to Jimmy Carter days. So when Jimmy Carter was a president, we had a major.
I'm trying to go back. Jimmy Carter, okay, he was in the 70s. Okay, I got it.
Remember, we had a major like challenge with money, poverty, and gas.
Mm-hmm.
When you went to get gas back then, you got gas. Now when you go get gas, you walk in, you got a mini mall.
Okay. You can buy soap, deodorant, toilet paper, toothpaste.
Exactly.
It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you, but still. They create, and then when they got liquor licenses, it was like hog heaven, one-stop shopping. You know, get it right here. And people are just on the move so much. And I don't think that we were paying attention to what we were eating as opposed to what, you know, how much, like you said, go and go and go and go and go. And then you turn around and you gain 50 pounds.
Well, you don't even know where it came from.
That's when people say, I lost 50 pounds. Okay, it found me at the time. It found me. Okay,
and then
come get your 50 pounds, girl.
And this is where it gets really crazy for anyone who's lived long enough to realize this, right? Diet soda came out, right? So you had Tab. Remember how popular Tab was?
Oh, that was a diet drink, supposedly.
Yeah. People, because it had saccharin in it for the sweetener and cyclamine. Cyclamine, we now know is carcinogenic. They removed it. There's still smoke around saccharin, same as aspartame. But the diet craze took off, right? Big time in the 70s, then just exploded in the early 80s.
Oh my goodness. Jane Fonda had on leggings.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody had it.
So again, right? Jane Fonda, we started moving more. Then Tybo came. We started moving even more. Then all of these workouts, you know, everybody's like coming out with workout. We're moving more and we're buying 0 calorie everything. Sweeteners became more popular. There was Equal. There was like Sweet and Low. There was like, then you got Stevia. That's the healthier one.
Stevia.
And we just keep going for what we think is healthier.
I got a question. How could a chemically based sweetener, you know, even be considered, you know, something you should get? Okay, go ahead.
The industry, right? So when you have the American Diabetes Association and the American Heart Association, they both encourage you to consume seed oils.
They did.
They still do.
They still do.
Because they choose that over saturated fat. So instead of using lard or butter, they prefer you to use a seed oil. Now, I know how bad seed oils are. There's a lot of people who know how bad they are, but go, wait a minute. So why would they be recommending that? That's because it goes back to their hypothesis in the 1950s when they said eating cholesterol and eating saturated fat is the problem. So they're not going to go back on that, even though we know that was not all true.
So people have been living lies for a long time, especially in the corporate world, because it seems like that is exactly what they were thinking. How much money can we make off of them if we can get them addicted to this particular chemical? Sometimes I'm suspect, you know, because it is just research, scientific research, and it is that they don't have the medical profession locked down. This is all practicing. But when they know they're practicing on this and they say, oh, the side effects of eating these potato chips are causing people to have diarrhea, people to have, you know, all these kind of ailments for a bag of potato chips. and then they change it to light. So a lot of it is in the mind.
And we keep letting them do it. They told you to use Crisco in 1911. And Crisco with trans fats did not get illegal or become illegal until 2018.
So that's why we're so full of disease, because it's been being
That's
passed
one of
down
them.
and passed down. And one of the things I read in this article, I'm gonna say, wait a minute, this is wait a minute, no, I had it right here too. Okay, my love, come on, where is it?
So seed oils are bad. Like
seed oils are bad.
Someone made a comment. They said, they said, have you ever seen how seed oils are made? I have, and it is gross. And then someone else mentioned, Margaret, she said, I never dreamed I eat so much soy. It's in everything.
And this is a personal thing, because they said it was good for me, and I'm not a big dairy eating person. I mean, if I eat dairy, it's cheese. But then they made soy cheese. Okay, then I got carried away with the soy cheese, and I was drinking soy milk and using the soy products as had been, acknowledged by these people that you were talking about in the medical profession and science and all of this. And I thought I didn't know what I had. Literally, my breast felt like rocks. And I kept saying, God, I feel so heavy up here. I feel so heavy up here. And my husband came, he said, we're going to the doctor right now. They told me, you cannot consume that much soy. And especially in a woman who was in perimenopause. I had literally, that was a huge side effect. And they seem like the FDA and the CDC and the NIH and the PXQ and Pub Health are just looking to make money off of us. How do we as the consumer circumvent that? Because and be able to be successful at it?
Well, one, on the soy, just for clarity, soy is not bad. But a lot of processed soy, same as processed sugar, processed everything that's heavily processed can have a negative impact, right? Because I eat edamame beans 3 times a week, which is soy. I have soy in one of my meals at least once a week. I like to pan fry, saute it, but it's natural soy, right? So it's minimally processed.
Okay.
But in answer to many of your questions, if you and I were in the kitchen and we go, okay, we have chickens outside and we got eggs. So we know we can make a lot of money selling those eggs, right? What if there's a way for us to take one room in the house and just plant these chemicals that create eggs? And it does it faster. Like we don't have to wait 21 days.
Oh, it's now 21 days?
Well, I'm just throwing out a number. What if we could get new eggs every day in one day? That means that we can make more money because we can produce more eggs. We don't got to wait on the chickens. So why not do lab-grown meat? Why not create chips? You want to create products that people think is fit for human consumption, even though it may be causing more harm. If we can create more of it, that means we can make more money.
So, in essence, we're saying that the Food and Drug Administration and all those organizations that, are supposed to be there to monitor the agricultural business are doing agricultural business, for us, not for you people out there in the world that are scraping by or struggling and scuffling. We got to put stuff in your food and stuff in your drinks, and you're going to like it. It's going to taste great. Forget about what it does to anybody. You just want to be in there in the moment. Don't worry about it. It'll help take away your stress. You'll have a sugar rush, and we didn't even know what that was.
And you know who's some of the headaches, the people who are causing most of the problems?
Tell me.
Are the people who are talking out the side of their neck. You remember that saying?
Yes. That one and out the side of the back of their neck.
So
if you think this is the front neck, that's the back neck.
Because think about it. Let's say you meet some lady on a plane and she works for, let's say, a company like Herbalife, and she sells supplements because she gets paid. So is she going to speak positively about the supplements, or do you think she's going to be negative about it?
Oh, that's a way for her to spread that word a little further.
Exactly.
If the plane, and if she's got a layover, she's got the opportunity to, even if the layover is 30 minutes, she's got the opportunity to deplane, to get everybody up before she even gets off. She gets everybody buzzing and talking about it. If she's a really good reason why I said that, because that's what I did. And I was getting off the plane. And before we got off the plane, you know how the flight attendant has you okay, if you have anything to declare, did you bring anything back with you? And all I said was, yep, I brought back a stack of numbers this big. They were written all over napkins or, all kind of stuff. And she got a captive audience on the airplane. Oh yeah, work that angle. She gets off the plane. She's sitting for 30 minutes. If she just talked to 5 people, that's 5 more orders or maybe 1 more order. She gets on the second plane. She could replicate that the same way. And people are not paying attention to that. Okay, so she getting over life.
Oh no,
so
they're paying
did
attention.
I answer that effectively? Did I answer that?
No, they're paying attention because you have a lot of those people who are selling you supplements instead of selling you a lifestyle. They're not selling you food. They're telling you to buy their product. And if you're buying a product over food, I mean, come on, you're setting yourself up to lose, right? So the FDA is overwhelmed. They don't have enough people to regulate what they do have the power to regulate. And, the supplement industry is self-regulated. So you don't know what you're taking. Most people take a multivitamin. I always ask, why are you taking a multivitamin? And they go, oh, because to fill the gaps. To fill the gaps of what? Well, I don't think I'm getting enough. You don't think. You don't know. So why not look at your nutrition? I don't take a multi. Why would I take a multi?
Because it's gonna supplement what you don't get in your food.
No, it's gonna cause most of the capsules will come from petroleum. So now I'm taking something that's cancerous. I'm consuming it. People don't even know what to look for when it comes to their supplements.
And when you see them on because there was a movement where our food manufacturer had to start putting the dates of the food, what's in the food, how many calories, and oftentimes I think a lot of it is like catch as catch can information, even in the ingredient part, because I had a can of one brand's black beans and another can of black beans with another company. Okay, so I'm looking to see what's the my thing is I look for the caloric intake, the carbohydrate intake, and fat intake. Those are my first 3 triggers. Okay, then because I know what that is. Then we start going down what the label is, and they'll say beef fat. Okay, but how can it be vegetarian if it's beef fat in it? I'm just asking. And then you look at this one, and this one doesn't have any beef fat in it. Okay, but it's like 25 more calories with no beef fat. How do we discern which one will be the better choice for us when we're getting like misinformation? And then I look down at the bottom of it, and they owned by the same company. I don't understand that.
Well, it's money, right? It's kind of like there was what was that bar? There's an energy bar that was made with like 3 to 5 ingredients. Wasn't Luna, and it's not coming to me right. Maybe it was Luna. But anyway, this bar comes out. It starts to do pretty well. And Kellogg, they decide, let's buy that company. So they can now control the narrative for the thing that's closer to nature as they continue to exploit us for eating the foods that we know are far from nature. So a lot of the bigger companies buy the smaller companies, and the smaller companies, they're like, this is our chance. Baby, we made it. We're going out to eat tonight.
I sold the company for $3 million.
Right. We got the deal.
We got it.
And at that point, we had a whole business designed to give people something close to nature. But man, I'm taking this 20 million. And you know what? Hey, God bless you all. Good luck. And I hope
much success.
It out.
See, when I keep saying we, because I have been in that position, and oftentimes you really can't get around, all of the chemicals and the byproducts, even in human consumption. And then when we started eating so much and you got a pet, Your dog is getting diabetes. Your cat got cancer. Why you feeding your animal, people food? You see what it's doing to you, and you're going to feed this to your cat? I mean, I thought you said you loved your cat. And the cats are sick, the kids are sick, and the kids are coming up obese like the parents because the parents have such a cavalier attitude about it. Nobody is saying this is what we really need to do to fuel our bodies, because a lot of people don't look at food as fuel. And why do you think that is?
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you a question that answers the question you just asked me.
Okay.
You know who Bill Gates is?
Yes.
One of the richest men in the world.
Yes.
Do you think Bill Gates wants to see our population grow? Let's say from 7 billion to 8 billion, 10 billion people? Or do you think in his mind, he's like, I really like to see our population decline to maybe 4 billion in the world?
Okay, yeah, right. Then he's not a stupid businessman. He would be like, okay, yeah. Like the tobacco industry here in the
Now,
United
he did
States.
answer this, so I'm going to tell you what he said.
Wait, he had an answer for that?
Oh, no. I just wanted to know what you think. Do you think he would like to see the population grow? Or do you think he wants to see us have less people alive?
I would think he would want to see the population grow.
No.
He's
on record that we need to control the population.
Mm-hmm.
We need to reduce the population for the bigger picture of this world. So he believes that we should have less people.
So they think war's the answer?
Well, war's not the answer. So what has Bill Gates done? Follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, he invested heavy in the farmer when it came to the vaccine. He walked away with over $500 million in a very short period of time. And we believe there's less people alive, maybe as a result of it. I mean, we don't know. I'm just saying that's hypothetical. We don't know. The other thing is he owns more land in America than any single owner. And why is that? Because he wants to start creating flour out of crickets. He wants to start using protein powder that's made out of peas. He wants to control the land so he can control the food. And if he controls the food, then he controls all of us and he can make even more money.
To a point. Well, that's what rich people do with their money.
Yeah. But
he's more of a businessman, I would prevent.
It's all business. So the people who are falling short, the people who continue to get more sick, the people who don't seem to get their weight under control, it ain't just in knowing what to eat. It's a whole bunch of stuff that you're consuming, you're inhaling that's around you that is playing a role in why you're not healthy.
That's it right there. I think it's epigenetics.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you break down because I learned new words.
Oh, epigenetics. Well, that's Bill Gates.
Oh.
Like his face should be right next to epigenetics because it comes from an elite way of thinking, going back to R.D. Rockefeller.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't know, at one point, R.D. Rockefeller in the early 1900s, he had more money than anybody in America.
Mm-hmm.
And he is the person, right? Because he owns Standard Oil, making all this money. He started buying pharma companies. He started buying like more companies, more oil companies, because they saw there was a connection between medicine and petroleum. So a lot of your pills have a petroleum-based oil and are based there, which we know is carcinogenic. So then this is how smart this guy was, which obviously he was smart. He said, so back if you and I were at home in 1905 and you go, man, I'm not feeling that good. You and I would probably go to the barbershop because the barber was the local folklore guy who could help you. He could pull a tooth. He could give you recommendations on like how to heal that burn. Yes, that's how it was. So
absolutely.
So J.D. Rockefeller, well, he made that illegal for people to do. And he created the institutions with like Andrew Carnegie, got a whole bunch of other rich guys, and they decided to fund the colleges so that we would have a certification process to become a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, pharma owns most of all the medical schools. So they're indoctrinated to teach and to promote things that will not make you extremely healthy, but will make it where you're better, but you're never completely healthy, so that they're making money on both ends.
because they own the pharmaceutical companies.
Both are, all right. So who owns aspartame? Aspartame we know causes cancer.
I'm trying to think.
Pfizer.
Okay, right. I'm glad you're there.
So think about that. So Pfizer will help you once you're sick, but yet they also are driving one of the reasons why you are sick.
Right. That's why they need to have ethical business practices. Okay, but I'm sure that's somewhere on the books. It's just that they violate that. They know they're prompting you to buy this, buy that. I'm like I said, I was really disappointed when they started putting the labels on them, but they put them on in a way that the average American did not understand.
No.
And they don't want them to understand. Let us keep funneling this garbage into your system. Oh, but over here, we own the pharmaceutical company. So what I know is how do we not keep from getting that sick where we have to keep taking them profiting? Because we got to be able to do something. We have to be able to do more than say, oh, I'm going to go on a diet. Oh, I'm going to lose weight on Tuesday, to get them off that procrastination, because technically all of these unnecessarily processed foods, well, not to the companies, it's killing us slowly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people, when they get diagnosed for diabetes, they don't die like 3 months. They don't tell you got 3 months left. Oh, you can manage this disease for 30 years and you can live a long, healthy life. It's going to cost you extra.
All right. So here's the answer. You ready?
I'm ready.
This is one of the answers. Do you think I know what to avoid?
I would think, pre-adventure, that you have a lot of knowledge of it, but they come up with something, different all the time.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's like, running on a hamster wheel.
I'm in this to win.
Oh, okay.
Right. So when they come out with something, my job is to make sure I'm fully aware of the new stuff that comes out, the stuff that's causing harm. I'm reading every journal. I'm not just reading abstracts. I'm deep. This is what I do. Right. So my clients and constituents who look to my data, they're like, Robert's doing the work, and I'm doing the work. I'm not a chiropractor in the afternoon. And you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be a movie star. This is what I do. So when people contact me, now I don't know how to change oil. I may use vegetable. I mean, I do know a little bit, but I'm saying I don't like. This is all I do. And so my respect for a cardiologist, for instance, if I had to go in because I got some angina, a little bit of discomfort, then I'm really trusting that this person is on top of their game.
So how are you? Because that's no joke. That's nothing to ignore at all.
No, I mean, I'm on top of my game.
Okay.
So my clients are the first. Like I have certain celebrity clients that I've had for years. They pay me $1,500, $1,200 a month just because I'm a lawyer that they have on retainer.
Oh, okay.
Because they know that when they do have questions or they see something new on TV or they see a new ad, then they have like direct contact with me. I pick up the phone. They're paying me $1,500 a month. So I pick up the phone and I go, yeah, what's up? And they go, well, I had a question. I saw this on Dr. Oz. What do you think? And then I need to have answers.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons why I stay on top of it. And two, I love helping people reverse their diabetes.
See, and you are so needed. When you really are. When what motivated you to decide to make this your life mission? Have you ever been obese? Anybody in your family?
Oh, I mean, come on.
What?
So do you think
I
am
83 million people that are pre-diabetic?
Hey, look, I'm African American, I'm Black. When I was 6 years old, I was marching with Jesse Jackson in Indiana. So my family's Black, and so and that doesn't mean that you're going to be unhealthy, but I'm from Indiana. We like to eat.
Food is not familiar.
Yeah. So when you say is my family, like, do I have obesity in my? Yes. One of my uncles one day had a glucose reading of over 1,500.
I didn't know that that could happen. I thought they said 500 is like stroke stage.
Oh no, I mean it is stroke stage, but he was 1500. He and I had the same skin color. His skin color was Wesley Snipes.
Oh, he was
I mean
really
he was Flavor Flav.
they
Like
so dark
that.
they'll leave a mark on coal.
I mean, like boom, because his glucose was that high. I mean, I've had clients in the hospital with triglycerides over 5,000.
I know what a triglyceride is, but that sounds like too
No, that's like
away from death.
over 150. That's considered high. This person, that's what motivated them to call me when they were in the hospital with triglycerides over 5,000. And they were like, Robert, how can I become a client? It took that. And this
In the
person
hospital.
yeah, she didn't die. She ended up making it.
Mhm.
And then I ended up coaching her. She's one of my biggest success stories because I mean, all the data says she should be dead.
5,000, over 5,000.
Yeah. And even my uncle, right? So when I go back to my family for Thanksgiving, okay, you're gonna love this. So mother loved it. You will get this more than anybody. My mom called me 2 days ago and asked me if I would be open to making a couple hours available for people in my family to come and hear me explain to them how to eat so they can become healthier.
Now, I know that just blew you away.
Oh, because I mean, I've been in this since almost 30 years.
Is this the first time she's asked?
Oh, this is the first time my mom, of course, will do it just because she's my mom. But my family, some of my cousins, my niece, they're like, all right, uncle, we're ready. And I'm like, wow. And and I'm not gonna make a big deal of it. I'm like, yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I don't want to make it like, now you got I'm not that dude.
Okay. Like, took you 30 years to get it. We just
right. Yeah. I'm just
it.
happy you want it.
Right. And that's what's important.
Because there's people that
around Thanksgiving.
Oh, and that's one of my favorite times. Like I recently did a show, or I did a segment on KTLA, which you're aware of in LA, where I show people how to eat during the holidays and eat everything, but yet not gain weight, not hinder your health. You can still have it.
You just don't need that much.
You space. It's all about spacing it out, the right portion sizes, and you can have it all.
And because it is Thanksgiving, and that is a holiday that all of us can celebrate together, and it's about family, food, fun. Oh, and people getting drunk and start spilling the stories on Thanksgiving because they start telling all the business when they got a little liquor and some food. So you got to kind of be well. Maybe that's my family. No, I've seen this happen in other families.
Oh no, I'm actually. My daughters love going to my hometown. Like that's their. I mean, I say this publicly and out loud. It's kind of sad, but that's their only real opportunity to experience family the way you and I know it.
Oh wow, and that's a sad commentary.
Yeah, because I live in Indiana, or I live in California primarily, in Florida. My parents and all my family is in Indiana. Now I grew up with what my kids experience once a year. It's nothing but family around, nothing around but love and hugs and food and festivities. Total like you know how it is. Like we laugh and always like whenever I explain this to my kids. Actually, how I explained it. Okay, you ready for this?
Okay.
You remember the movie Glory with Denzel Washington?
Yes. Wait, how old are your kids?
16 and almost 14.
Okay, that's good because they can understand.
2 girls. Oh, okay. They totally get it now.
Okay.
They, I took them. So like last year, I went to Thanksgiving, but I didn't take them because tickets were like out of control. I was like, that's just, it was my fault. I didn't order them. I didn't get the tickets early enough. This year, it was still expensive, but I was like, you know what? It would be cheaper for us to go to Paris, but we're going to Indiana.
You say it's cheaper to go to Paris.
Oh, yeah. Cheaper to go to New York. It's ridiculous. To go from California to Indiana, unbelievable. So lesson learned, because I waited. I let it get too close. But my kids get to experience all of that. And that means the world to me, that they can experience family and the love and the, that's the only reason, one of the main reasons why I like Tyler Perry movies is that he captures a lot of that love that we grew up with.
Right.
And so my kids will get to experience that. And that just means, so much to me personally.
So are the three of you based out here in
Yes.
California?
So we live in Ventura, California.
Okay. Oh,
And
up there you up there with the take on Mr. Bourgeoisie. I ain't mad
you
at it.
need to come up here and visit.
I would love to come and visit. I've never
That
had
would be great to have you guys. I have a few people I want you to meet.
Okay. Well, let's make that happen.
Yeah, let's make that. That'll be really fun.
I remember when we were growing up, it was like mandatory that we had dinner together. Well, mostly it was mandatory. You had dinner at 6:30, and if you wasn't at the table, you was gonna be hungry that night because they didn't play. But we had family dinners, and it wasn't just during the holidays.
No,
Even when we
exactly.
started going out to high school and college and what have you, and she knew that our schedules were different. They always made something happen, whether it was the 4th of July, Mother's Day, because I come from a very festive family. I mean, we celebrate any day that has a Y in it. So this is my life. And so, and for kids not to have that, and not be able to see that on a regular basis, it is just more important. So how did the kids, what was their feedback? I mean,
that's why they're going this year. It's like they're old enough now
to really understand.
They love it. They love the way my mom cooks mac and cheese. They love the collard greens she's going to make. They can't wait to eat the fried perch. She'll make some perch and some catfish.
Oh, see.
Now, as I'm saying this,
okay, wait a minute, just hold up, because see, you're messing in my menu. Wait, just stop right now, because see, now you're messing in my menu. I had it set in my head, and then you said, "Oh, some fried perch, and some catfish." You know what? Now I'm hungry. Now I'm going to see. I already got. Look, don't be messing with my Thanksgiving head, dude.
No. Just keep in mind that like my mom, she makes all those things, but we make it with the right ingredients.
I hear people, especially out here, say, if you frying something, it should be fried in lard. I'm like, that's not something we should really be consuming. What are some of the other misnomers about nutrition that most people don't get or don't look over? Or look over that could be beneficial to them.
Well, one, I would recommend lard over the seed oils.
Okay, I don't know what happened, but lard, I've never heard that one before. Lard over, really? Okay, why are you so dead set against where's your face? Okay, you're in there someplace. I can see it. So what is the why do you go for lard and not the plant seeds? That is something different. Okay, he's frozen on the camera. Okay, he's gonna come back. He done got so excited they had to get up and walk around his chair because they knew the information he was going to give to us is going to be beneficial for us. So just let us just for a moment just understand why. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm a fat person. I'm obese, or this, that, and the third." I grew up that we were not fat people; that we were fluffy, we were zoftic, we were regal. And so I didn't come from a family that couldn't go shopping. I mean, we all are big girls and guys. And my mother said, "Listen, we big girls. Decorate yourself pretty so they can see you coming." Oh, that was the wrong thing to tell me, but then it was the right thing to tell me, And so, in telling me that, okay, are you there?
I am here. Sorry about that. We had a little blemish there.
Okay,
I'm still here.
Okay, I hear your voice. I don't see your face. We just pulsating. So I was talking about when you were saying that your kids are going to love all the things that your mother cooks, and you said that you prefer to use lard over seed oil. Please explain that to us.
Well, I'm glad you heard that.
I heard that.
All right, so
lard.
Okay. So
Okay.
lard is a saturated fat, meaning that it's very stable, even though it's been demonized for years. There's no evidence that proves anywhere, there's no scientific literature that saturated fat is damaging to a person's health. We were told that, and we just adopted and believed it, and to this day most people believe it. And so in place of lard and butter, they recommended seed oils, which we now know are causing more damage than the lard or the butter.
See, that sounds like a conspiracy against the American consumer. We want to get them addicted to high fructose corn syrup and telling us and just lying to us about it is a saturated fat. But that was that saturated fat and polyunsaturated and all these different ingredients that are in food. This is what we are confused with, and we don't know whether the crap will go blind. Do I eat? I mean, you just blew me around the chair when you said I would prefer lard. Okay, I'm glad your face is back because okay, I just let me read your lips on that one. Just say it to me one more time. This is
So
Robert Ferguson, y'all. He created a diet-free life. He eats and he eats well, and I learned a lot from your process. But dude, he said lard has got a bad name. Okay, lard open oil, seed oil. Okay,
hey,
come on, Mr. Ferguson,
hey,
with your ass up.
if you
I'm
know
holding
anything,
on to the desk.
if you know anything about Ventura County, we have a city called Oxnard.
No, about Oxnard.
Oxnard is known for its strawberries, its agriculture, a lot of field workers, very high percentage of Hispanics that live
Mm-hmm.
in. I drive to Oxnard once a week to a restaurant to get a burrito that is made with lard. That's
Okay,
the only burrito I buy
okay, and that is because,
because I know lard, saturated fat and lard is not causing any problems in my body.
but butter is and seed oil is hard.
No, butter is great, just like lard.
Mm-hmm.
Butter is your friend. They've been using butter for years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking thousands of years. Butter has been around forever.
Sure.
Butter. So think about it. So butter has been around forever. Ghee has been around forever.
I got a jar
Lard,
in my refrigerator.
right? Lard has been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
But then out of nowhere, we bring in all these seed oils. And it's like vegetable oil.
That's
Use that.
good for you.
That's a seed oil. Trans fats, they pushed that on us for years. We
But
now know trans fats was killing people. So the further it is from nature,
the
the
worse
worse
it
it
is.
is for us.
What I found out, I was getting some fish. If it swims, I'm eating it. If they got a whale and they got whale meat, I'll try it at least once. Okay. So I went to get some, I was looking at the fish counter, they have it all packaged up. And they were saying, um, uh, this guy, I guess he worked in the fishing business. Okay, I'm getting feedback. Okay, that's better. So I don't know what made him come up to me and he said, Miss, I'm going to tell you something about fish. Just look so you know this. He said, look at where the fish comes from. The further away it comes from, the less it is likely to be regulated, from the time it leaves, say, Vietnam or the Philippines or any foreign country, or Indonesia, follow, if it's from any of them, know that the further away it is, the more contaminated it could be. You're best to get your fish from Canada, from the Great Lakes, and some other places that they said. And I was really surprised about that. And what's your take on that? Because they said he said the further away the fish comes, the more we need to be concerned about the nutritional value of it. Okay, I have no audio.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. I
see,
am.
you
I
know
am.
what?
I am.
We're gonna make sure you stop touching buttons.
I'm in full agreement with that. Eat. If the fish are there, most of the fish is going to be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So like when it comes to certain fish, like I'm into wild salmon as well
Who
as like
isn't?
wild caught salmon.
Mm,
Most people don't know the difference between wild and wild caught. They're both good, but if it's farm raised, now we're talking problems.
right. Because the fish the salmon are so concentrated and it's so small, and it is a difference, and they don't know the difference between wild caught fish and steelhead.
Right. Well, when you think about why a lot of people are eating salmon, they're eating it because it's high in omega-3,
Hmm.
right? Anti-inflammatory. And that would be a good thing. So where does the salmon get its omega-3? Well, when you look at the answer for that, it's because the salmon will eat algae.
Hmm.
Well, I would rather go straight to the algae.
Then have it go through the fish. So we see a lot of that in the health food stores, and what is because people, I think we get stuck on what we're eating, and oh, I just can't eat fried chicken or pork chops if it's not cooked and thus and so, and everybody wants the food their way. You talk a lot about um, how the food is prepared. And then, when I was reading this article in the Pub Health that said it's a different. We were talking about the ecogenomics that it can add to exacerbate your disease because from your environment. I don't know why my tongue got all chewed up like that. That this has something to do because most people will say I was finishing my thought that a lot of people say, well, everybody in my family is big boned. We got this, that, and the third. And this is my lot in life. And that's not the case because they
Mm-mm.
said that even if it is the case, your genetics has something to do with it. But the fact of the environment that you are in can help exacerbate that situation. Can you talk
Exactly.
about that a bit?
100%. Like we have new cancer cells that are formed in our body every day. Every day. So everyone that you talk to, everyone that you see at the grocery store, every person on the phone, the Uber driver, everyone produces new cancer cells every day. What happens is, do we want those cancer cells to be expressed to where they turn up, show up,
Mhm.
and become cancer that can kill us? And depending on things that you encounter with food, as well as the certain ingredients or chemicals in the carpet to mold, can actually stimulate those cancer cells to be expressed and then become cancer. So you could be the healthiest person in the world. You could eat broccoli that you make and chickens that you grow,
Mhm.
and you can still get cancer. But you can reduce the likelihood if you're eating foods that are closer to nature and aren't primarily like chemically based.
And they're making up food.
Yes.
And this is one of the things that I'll be honest with you. That's like saying, well, I'll be honest with you because I've been lying the whole time. I just want that's what see. They start making up food. I was suspect about the broccoli flour. That's why it's cauliflower and broccoli. Now you got cauliflower, broccoli, and some purple stuff. I don't broccoli flour. That kind of scares me. I like and I was surprised my husband liked it. The plant-based burgers.
Hmm.
Um, because it's plant-based.
Like beyond or impossible, right?
Yeah, but the impossible, but whichever ones we can get because they seem to be in scarcity. I don't know if they're not selling well or people are finding out that they don't like it or it tastes like meat to me. I ate beef once upon a time, so I know what it tastes like, and they're very very close to it, and so it still has to be processed. And people are going from non fat no fat foods to non-fat foods is non-fat yogurt, non-fat cheese. What's the skinny on those?
I would stay away from anything that's non-fat.
Why did I know you was gonna say that? I didn't even know. As soon as it came out my mouth, I'm like, I know what he getting ready to say.
I mean, but you know why
Elway,
I'm saying that, right?
Elway, run!
You know why I'm saying to stay away from non-fat.
Uh, no, I don't.
Well, non-fat means it's more chemically processed,
Okay, see,
right?
I,
So here's a really good example.
mm,
If a person drinks whole milk compared to low fat or non-fat milk, the non-fat milk will cause a 300% higher increase of insulin response compared to whole milk.
like I said, I'm not a big dairy person. If I eat something, it's cheese, and I can use soy cheese, and as long as they don't see the wrapper, and I don't tell them, it's macaroni and cheese,
Right,
you
but
know.
but get what I just said.
Hmm.
People are buying skim milk because they think it's healthier because it's lower in saturated fat.
It's still milk, though. Cow milk is for baby cows. People milk is for baby
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I mean, yeah, but
When
but
you
through
put cow
evolution,
milk into a baby, come on, Robert.
okay, look
You know.
through evolution, some of
Mhm.
us do very well with consuming milk. Some of us are lactose intolerant, which is not to our best interest to consume milk.
Me.
But for people who drink milk, my point is the more processed it is, the greater the insulin response. And if the insulin response is high, it's insulin that's elevated in our bodies that is causing the chronic illnesses.
Hmm.
Okay, for instance, before you were a type 2 diabetic, you had hyperinsulinemia. And I would be willing to bet that you didn't know that.
I've never even heard that word before until now.
Okay. And I say that because you are so, like, of all the people in my life that I ever get to talk to that's a public figure, you are like so on it and so aware of so many things. And it's incremental because I pick up things that a lot of people will never pick up. But trust me, I tell my audience, Mother Love is really well read. There's no way you can know what you know if you're not reading and paying attention to everything. There's no
I'm a,
way.
I am a ferocious reader. I'm a strong research person, and people around the country and even around the world, um, they can see that I had to make a choice, and it was either my life and the longevity and the quality of my life, or I'm just gonna stay in this quagmire. Like, I get bored with the same thing. My
Okay,
husband would always say,
so here's the homework for next week.
"Oh, hey, we have homework."
Well, because we're going to come back because people they want to know more about what I'm about to say.
Okay,
It's
and
called
that's what we want. Hmm?
hyper
Mhm,
meaning elevated.
mhm.
Insulin is the hormone. Emia means in the blood. So
Email.
hyper.
Wait
So
a minute. Let me
hyper.
find my ink pen so I can take notes. Because look, I walk in the living room and forget what I came in the living room for. That's why I
so
was told, don't get up out that chair until you're finished. I'm like, what would make you think I'm going to get up out the chair? He's like, because you crazy like that. Just stay right here and don't touch the buttons. Okay.
so
Next time
hyper.
again is edemia.
So hyper, hyper. Everybody
H.
write this down.
Hyper.
Hyper, then insulin,
Mm-hmm.
insulin,
Mm-hmm.
and then emia, EMIA. So hyper
Insulin
insulinemia.
emia. Oh, somebody gonna name their child that. Oh, I heard it on the Mother Love show. I just
I
liked
hope
it, that
not.
name. What you name your baby? I named her Emia. Emia. What
Okay,
is
well,
she? Okay,
okay,
go
that's
ahead.
better
I'm
than.
ready. I'm
But
sorry.
hyperinsulinemia is that comes before diabetes. That comes before high blood pressure. That comes before PCOS. That comes before erectile dysfunction. That becomes before a whole bunch of metabolic challenges. And the doctors are not even looking for it.
I'm telling you, I've been involved in the diabetes community for over 50 years. I'm going to say 60 because I was a teenager and my younger sister had developed type of what they call the juvenile diabetes. And she had it until she passed away at 53. So and
Mm-hmm.
all of them were young. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I want to be here because I'm nosy. That's it.
And this is a big part of the injustice taking place. Because if we were looking at insulin,
Hmm.
people would never get to the place where they're diabetic.
See, that's what we're going to talk about next week. And I'm going to be learning on this hyperinsulinemia. and
Oh,
Mia.
you got it. Good
I take copious notes. And I'm gonna be coming back to you
Okay.
on Tuesday, every Tuesday. Now, except for the week of Thanksgiving, we're gonna go. Well, we're not gonna go dark, and the show won't be up. But we're gonna be running, revisiting those some episodes for the week of Thanksgiving. So on next week, and it is the 20th. What's the day?
The next week on we're good. The 21st. I'm prepared to talk about hyperinsulinemia.
Oh, I can't wait to learn about hyperinsulinemia. Tell people how they can get in touch with you and get your book and tap into your program.
Just go to dietfreelife.com, which is the website. And then if you have questions, you can reach out to us. And if you just want a first step, I would say take our quiz. We have a free quiz on dietfreelife.com. Start there. And don't miss next week because we're going to talk about hyperinsulinemia.
Insulinemia. I got
Yep.
it. I done wrote it down. That's going to be, I'm going to find out. You're going to be very proud of me.
And you know what? When you Google it and look it up, you're going to be, oh my goodness.
When I looked up the pub health, I was like, what? It's a conspiracy. They trying to keep us sick. Okay, well, yeah. My husband always says, well, the herd got to be thinned out. So if the food people can thin out the herd and you can get inside of a person's brain and get inside of their psyche, they can change the world. And that's what we're doing. Robert Ferguson, the creator of Diet Free Life. You don't have to diet. Just work with it. Change your lifestyle. And remember this, my babies. No matter how big or small, short or tall, thick or thin, it matters not what skin you're in. Everybody needs some mother love now and then. Peace and blessings, my brothers. And we will see you again next week. Mr. Robert Ferguson. Dude is bad. He trying to keep us all alive.
Mother love. We love you.